Hi there, welcome to the Jersey Sports Final. Coming up, what does a Seton Hall basketball player have in common with Tevye from Fiddler on the Roof? Well, the answer shortly. That is what they call a tease, folks. But we start with Victor Cruz backpedaling. The Giant receiver and Patterson native apologizing on Sunday for his tweet on Saturday, soon after a Florida jury cleared George Zimmerman in the death of teen Trayvon Martin. In the tweet, since deleted, Cruz saying, quote, thoroughly confused. Zimmerman doesn't last a year before the hood catches up to him. But later, Cruz adding, quote, I never have and I never advocate violence under any circumstances, and I pray that we all encourage and educate each other. Elsewhere, Alex Rodriguez reportedly missed his rehab game on Friday after being shaken by the latest evidence claiming he used performance-enhancing drugs. Now, the New York Daily News says in a meeting earlier Friday, Major League Baseball presented an extensive case against A-Rod, such that Rodriguez's lawyers are said to be negotiating a 150-game suspension, that instead of a lifetime ban. And incidentally, A-Rod reportedly will play for AA Trenton on Wednesday at Reading. Meanwhile, Minnesota victorious in the Bronx on Sunday thanks to blows like this. Aaron Hicks delivers off loser CC Sabathia in the third. The lefty allows 8 runs in 4 innings, but just 3 were earned thanks to errors by Eduardo Nunez and Lyle Overbay, and the Twins romping by a score of 10-4. Well, after falling short this year of Baseball Hall of Fame induction, Mike Piazza is heading to the Mets Hall of Fame on September 29th. After being traded to Flushing, Piazza was a 7-time Met All-Star. At first place Pittsburgh, those Mets trying to win their final game before Tuesday's break. Marlon Berg continues a surprising first half, delivering this RBI ground rule double, scoring Eric Young Jr. and Dylan G allowing just an unearned run in 6+ innings, evening his record at 7-7, and the Mets winning by a score of 4-2. Well, there's no official word from Seton Hall, but it appears that sophomore point guard Tom Mayen isn't returning to South Orange this season. He's currently fulfilling a military obligation in his native Israel, where commitments are rarely interrupted, even for Big East basketball players.
If I were a rich man, yabba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dum.
In 1972, actor Chaim Topol was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor for playing Tevye in the famed musical Fiddler on the Roof.
So what would have been so terrible if I had a small fortune?
When nominated, Topol was a reserve in the Israeli military and needed special permission to attend the Academy Awards. But few exceptions are granted for those doing mandatory service, like Seton Hall point guard Tom Mayen. After playing in all 33 games last year, starting 17, Mayen was the Pirates' assist leader and second in steals. But he's now being trained to shoot a weapon instead of a basketball.
Because this is the age range when people serve the army. The only reason to join the army at 21 or 22 is if you go to academic studies in a profession that is approved by the military, and you need to get approval for it ahead of time.
Noga Maliniak is a regional Israeli emissary at the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West in Whippany. She supervises Israelis on work visas in the United States before and after military duty.
For example, Asaf Barnea, another Israeli basketball player, when he played for Seton Hall, he went to school after the military service, like my kids do, like every other Israeli. But also I want to mention that the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, give outstanding athletes special conditions to keep them in shape.
Turns out, when it comes to military exceptions, compared with Mayen, Tevye was a rich man.
If I were a wealthy man.
Love that music. And finally, Matt Harvey is now among legends, like Misha Tate, Oksana Masters, and Courtney Force. An Ultimate Fighter, a Paralympic rower, and yes, a funny car racer. Athletes who've posed naked for ESPN the magazine's Bodies layout, past or present. But why Harvey? Most of the bodies represent publicity-starved sports, like the WNBA's Candace Parker, or the U.S. women's volleyball team, who we wouldn't recognize if they ran naked in Times Square. Or individual sport athletes like Apollo Antonono, renowned individualists like Venus Williams. Sure, some major team sports stars have stripped, like Adrian Peterson and Amari Stoudemire, but they're far more ripped than Harvey. Instead, he should be ripped for his posing. and for self-proclaimed most complimented feature, his eyes. The Phenom saying, quote, "The lighter the shirt, the more my eyes pop." Hey, Matt, how about sticking a pop in the fastball and keep exposing hitters instead of yourself? Enjoy Tuesday's All-Star Game. I'm Joey Waller. News continues in a moment.